Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take you back to April 23rd, 2017. When Lucy Salvador woke up that morning, she did not realize it was going to be the last day she talked to her son, Mark Salvador, or saw him alive. She spoke to him that day in the afternoon at the house, and Mark was excited. He had a rapper that contacted him about doing a photo shoot. Taymor McIntyre, or Tayk 47, or Tayk, here in San Antonio, Texas. He was excited. His passion was photography. His passion was taking photographs and wanted to make that his career. He was young. He was just 20 years old. Taymor McIntyre was almost 17 years old. He was an up-and-coming rapper that contacted Mark about this photo shoot. And when Taymor came over to pick up Mark from his house, at his mother's house, Mark went outside with his backpack and his camera, very definable white type camera, ran off to this car down the street, a black Kia. Little did he know he was getting into that car, and then we'd be falling off that car later on, shot by this individual that's sitting right over there. When he got to that car, he got in the back passenger seat. It's a four-door Kia. Taymor McIntyre was in the front passenger seat. Joanna Reyes was driving the vehicle. A good buddy of Tayk's was in the back seat and scooted over to the middle, Jalen Bell. And then also there was a Jeremiah Rodriguez in the back seat. When they drove away, they proceeded over to 410 and McCullough, across the street from North Star Mall here in San Antonio, Texas. When they were at the intersection, an altercation began at that point. This man right over here pulled out a gun and turned around and started hitting with fist and also with the gun, telling him, "Give me your stuff, give me your stuff, give me that backpack." They're wrestling for the backpack. At that point, Jalen Bell also wants to get involved in this. He's a bigger guy, a lot bigger than Tayk. He's in that back seat with Mark. They start beating him and trying to take away his backpack. His passion is in that backpack. His photography, his career. Tayk gets that backpack away from him. Jalen Bell is still hitting and kicking and pushing Mark. They're at a stoplight. There are people parked around them at that stoplight, witnessing what's going on. Because this happened at 5 o'clock on a Sunday, in broad daylight. At some point, Mark gets kicked out of the car. They slam that back door. They won't let him back in the car. "Help! Help! Help!" He's yelling. What he loved is in that car, his camera. "Give me my things! Give me my things!" He knows the light's about to turn green. He's frantic. He runs to the front. He jumps on the hood. One of the biggest mistakes of his life, or rather, the last part of his life. Joanna Reyes is driving that vehicle. The light turns green. They drive through that stoplight. It's a Sunday afternoon. Right across the street, or highway from the North Star Mall, there's a Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is closed on Sundays. They pull into that Chick-fil-A parking lot. She slams on the brakes. Mark sort of stands up. Looks like he's stomping on the windshield. But then that car jerks and he falls. you'll see that passenger door open up, the front passenger door open up, where this man over here was sitting with that gun. He leans out. He shoots Mark through the shoulder, goes across his body, exits out of a little bit out of his lower back. He falls to the ground. The car reverses and takes off from the scene. You'll see several people run up and try to help Mark. But that bullet crossed his body. It hit his spine, hit his both lungs. If he would have been on the best medical gurney in the world, he wouldn't have survived that shot. He dies in that parking lot that day. As Tayk and his friends drive off. They don't go to the cops. They don't call the cops. They run away. But that's not the end of the story. Because that car was found less than a mile away, abandoned at a Mexican food restaurant. There's evidence there that Tayk was there, that Jalen Bell was there, that Jeremiah Rodriguez was there, and Joanna Reyes was there. Doesn't end there. Tayk and Jalen take off. They run. They get out of town. Jalen is caught in Dallas. Tamor is caught in New Jersey. Nobody called the cops. Nobody said anything at that point of helping Mark Salvador. A promising career, possibly photography, a difficult field of photography. You take chances. You do things for nothing. That's what he wanted. He had a chance that day to take some photographs of an up-and-coming rapper that had his career on the horizon, possibly, or wanted it to be that career of a rapper. But instead, that particular day, he chose to take a life of an individual, Mark Salvador. That's what we will bring to you, and evidence will show that Tamor McIntyre committed capital murder on April 23rd, 2017. Thank you.